What's up, y'all, man? BCA here, ready for war, not for play, and we here again with another video. And today, I want to talk about why you start to see women differently on semen retention. So, before you started this journey, you saw a woman, it was like, man, bro, she bad in the mud, man. She bad. That girl bad. And you know what was on your mind when you saying she was bad, right? You know what you were thinking. I don't even gotta say it. You know what you were thinking. You know what you were thinking about doing. You know, you was like, man, just give me 3 dates, man. Let me get about like 30 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your mind will have all the different scenarios going in your head. Our minds would do that. I'm not gonna say it's just you. Me too. Would think that way. We automatically objectify women in certain situations and stuff like that, and don't really see them for the human beings that they are as women. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you're not on a semen retention journey. Now, mind you, you can be on semen retention, relapse, and get back on the journey and still have those principles of not objectifying women. Okay, that's the first thing I want to make clear before we get into this video, because last thing I want people to think is that every man out here is really trying to objectify a woman every time they see them. That's not necessarily true. It depends on who you're talking to. And I know women know when they see certain dudes what they own and what they trying to do. Most women pretty much know that. And the women that don't know that, I hope you did not really naive to that, but that is really what's going on. Maybe 80% of the time I had to guess a number, or maybe 75, but when you see somebody and they're trying to talk to you, they see that they are attracted to you, and that goes from there, and vice versa. Sometimes when women see men, they have the same mindset, and the same thing happens. And this goes all into dating, and the dating game is already rigged in itself, and I don't want you all to get too invested on that part of it. We just got to talk about what's going on as far as men and what we look at, right? So when you see a woman, when you own semen retention, you start to see more of her inside versus outside. You start looking at how she interacts at that restaurant, how she interacts at the gym, or how she interacts wherever you are at before you make your approach. Because because where I live at, man, is the South. So you will see a lot of people, their inside and their spirit isn't there. Like, they'll be at these different places, the restaurant or a store, and they'll be going off and stuff and talking loud and all the type of stuff. Like, a lot of things that are a turn off really to certain men. And they don't know they're doing it. They're being themselves. So that's what I do appreciate. The women that do show themselves, their real selves, when they are out and stuff. I appreciate that, because it lets me know I need to get away. Because you have a lot of women that are, when they are at these places, they're not themselves. Some of them are trying to see if they can attract a certain man and stuff like that, and they not really talking that much. They quiet. They probably listening to something on their headphone. They're probably doing something where they're not really interactive, so you can't really see their personality. So those are the ones that are becoming anomalies as to if you want to get their number or not, because you don't really know how they are. You just have to roll the dice on it. But you still can see enough you can see something just from being in this store or wherever, and just can say, okay, she cute or whatever, but you don't really know what you want to do until you kind of feel it, or you have a good discernment as to if it's something that you want to even entertain. Okay, now when you own semen retention, most of you all start to date with intention, and some of you all really don't date at all, because you all have to accept that the fact is, at the end of the day, you can't sleep with them. So you doing this journey, you can date. There's nothing wrong with dating, but you gotta accept the fact that 8 to 10 times out of 10, man, she's probably gonna be sleeping with somebody else, and you gotta be okay with it. That's the part about it I believe is the hardest for men to grasp, because not a lot of dudes want to go out and take a woman on a date and then understand that she sleep with somebody else and you on semen retention. And it's like, what am I doing this for, just to have company, or like what is my ultimate goal? And especially if I'm communicating that with her, obviously she's not going to tell you that. Hope y'all know that a lot of women are going to tell you she sleep with other men. Okay, hope y'all know that. Now, don't be naive like that. If she's beautiful and very nice, she's either dating somebody else and she's sleeping with somebody in her rotation, whatever that may be. That's just truth. You gotta accept it and move on. Okay, because you're at the bottom of the totem pole, because you already eliminated the one thing that could separate you, but you know that you got a purpose to where you know that when you do that, you want to do it with somebody that's your wife or somebody that you're engaged to. That's what you want to do. So this your lane. Now, I'm talking about people that are being abstinent during semen retention, like my man on Angel Time. Prime example. He's one that he does semen retention. He's abstinent all of it. You got other people that are on semen retention, but they still sleep with people. It's different semen retention journeys out there. Now, mind you, on Angel Time, semen retention is the way it's supposed to be done. It's what I consider a clean semen retention journey. So when he wake up in the morning, he not sleeping with no woman. He'll see a woman that probably bad or whatever, but he not doing all the other stuff, because his journey is going to be a clean semen retention journey. Somebody else doing that type of journey, they probably sleep with people and may not be releasing, but they still practicing immorality. So you gotta really understand that when you on this journey, it's 100% way and it's a halfway. It's really what it is. And when you push the 100% way, you're gonna start to see a lot more changes going 100% versus doing the halfway. Clean way, bro. And I know it sounds crazy. I'm recommending it to y'all, but I'm telling you, when you get to especially when you get to certain ages, for example, I think Big Beanie in his 20s. Okay, Big Beanie, you in your 20s, right? For you probably can go sleep with women and not release, and it'd be your practice because you're young. That's fine. That's what works for you. For the 40 and 50-year-old man that he, the 40 and 50-year-old that's practicing retention, he probably go full clean because he already 50. He already got a body count out of this world. So he really understands that point. He not really missing out on nothing. And then I think that's one of the biggest things grasping with semen retention, bro. Like, you got to understand abstinence is going to come with it. Your sexual urge is gonna be they're gonna be there, but you're gonna be putting it into your purpose. So you really protecting your sexual energy and putting it into yourself as much as you can. As much as you can, because sometimes you're not gonna be able to do because sometimes you're not gonna be able to actually see the benefits if you're still doing all the other stuff. And I include everything, bro. I still include the drinking, I include the smoking, all of this stuff, bro. You gotta go monk mode, bro. Dang near. If you're doing all this stuff on a regular basis, go monk mode, please. Come to the front. Go monk mode. Cause you go monk mode, then you eliminate everything. I don't have a PlayStation. I don't play games anymore. I used to. I used to play 2K, all that stuff. I don't do it no more. I used to play Monopoly just to like get my mind going. It's like, when you look at finances and stuff, that's kind of a productive game. I consider it a productive game. So that'll be probably the only game I'll play. But other than that, I'm not playing PlayStation, Xbox, none of that stuff. Because I'm focused and I'm locked in. But it takes a while to get to that. You get to a point in your life where everything just cut off. Like, you know what? I ain't doing that goofy stuff. I'm going to focus on this for this period of time and I'm going to lock in. Lock in, do what I got to do. So once you do that, you'll be able to tell yourself later, thank you, younger self. You actually locked in and we look at the benefits of this stuff. We look at the benefits of all we wanted. We wanted to have this, wanted to do that. We're doing all of it within the year of us saying it. Or me looking in the mirror and repeating it. Or whatever it may be. Putting action to things I want to do. And what I want to have. And I'm going to do it. So I just want y'all to know that, man. Just keep on doing it, man. Keep being great. Keep understanding that when it comes to the women and the you know how you see them and stuff. You just gotta stay true to you, man. You know what women will be good to you, value to you, and which ones not, and just make sure you maintain. You talk to the women with quality. You have to do that for your own personal well-being. I've dated a lot of different women in my life, and I understand one thing: quality over quantity. My boy Kanye said it best: one good girl is worth 1,000 girls. That's a fact. That is a fact. So that's what I want you all to understand, man, and know is that you're not going to see women with a looks for eye no more, basically. You're not going to see them like that. You're going to start seeing them as the human beings they are, and you're going to start basically understanding that you have more of an intentional lifestyle that a lot of them cannot relate to. A lot of the women, they are intentional too. They want a relationship, but they may not want the same things you want. But then you have those conversations with them. So you do what you got to do, man. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, man. I'll see y'all in the next video, man. BCA out.